Hey guys, it's Laura. So you're going to notice some differences in my videos starting in 2025, and I'm going to put this little blurb at the front of several of my videos because I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but I definitely pre-record some of my videos and I schedule them out just because I need to be able to do that to manage my work and school and life balance. So I have several videos that are scheduled out for January of 2025 that have my old intro and my old channel name, and I've updated that as of January 1st. So kind of exciting. And I just wanted to kind of give a little explanation, I guess, before each of those videos and just let you know why you might hear me refer to Laura B. Floss Tube and why you may just see just some differences moving forward, especially when the videos later in January and then February and then further on start posting. So anyway, that is what I want to share with you. Welcome to Laura's Handmade Haven. I am so glad that you've joined me. I am still the same girl. I'm still the same crafter and creator. I've just kind of expanded what I do with my channel since I originally named it, and I just wanted my channel name to reflect that. And it definitely, I feel like it definitely opens up opportunities for me to bring in different types of content as we move forward. And I hope you're as excited about that as I am, because I am looking forward to sharing all kinds of crafty goodness with you. So without further ado, let's get started on today's video. Hey friends, it's Laura with Laura B. Floss Tube. Welcome or welcome back. I'm so glad you joined me today. I am working on another berry jam quilt, and this time I'm using very thin strips and then wider background strips, but this time my background fabric is like a border fabric. It has lots of lines in it and it is directional, and so for that center square I wanted to do something a little different this time. So what I'm going to do is create kind of a custom center for the middle of my berry jam quilt. So I thought, hey, I should share this idea with you. One of the things I love about this pattern is that you don't necessarily have to have a set size for the center of your quilt. It can be really any size that you want. It just depends on what you like. So what I'm going to do is just cut off a strip, because I'm going to start with a 6.5 inch square. So I'm going to go ahead and put this to the side. Now for this, I'm just going to line up my square on the fabric, and I'm just going to cut a 6.5 inch square. And honestly, I chose 6.5 because I grabbed that ruler. There was really no more to it than that. So I'm going to have this one, and then I'm going to cut one more, kind of thinking about where my focus fabrics are lined out. And yes, I'm going to have a little bit of scrap here, but it's not going to be enough that it's going to matter to me. So now I'm going to head over to the sewing machine. Okay, as mentioned, I'm going to just make a couple half square triangles here. And what I am going to do is just make sure that my stripes are going the same way. And the reason I do that is because that way, when I flip this back as a half square triangle, my stripes will be going opposite ways, and that's what's going to make my pinwheel look. So the stripes, again, are going the same way, and that way they'll be going opposite ways when I make my half square triangles. Now, an easy way to make half square triangles is just to use a 1/4 inch piecing foot, and then you're going to start in the middle point, and you're going to just sew 2 seams across. And I have washi tape on my machine bed extension table. Now I'm going to turn it around and go the exact same way. And this is basically 1/2 inch away from the first one, which will give me a good 1/4 inch seam for each of my half square triangles. Now we'll trim these down, press them open, and then put our pinwheel together. This ruler is definitely overkill for what I'm doing, but it was laying on the table, so it works. Just cutting those apart, and now I'm going to have 2 half square triangles. All right, now that we have our 4 half square triangles, we will just lay them together into a fashion that we like. Doesn't have to be a specific way, it's just what you like. Just kind of depends. If you want them going a certain way or whatever, however you like the colors going together. So now you can see that I kind of have like this little bit of a pinwheel feel going. Now if I wanted to, I could totally change the look just by playing with the way these come together in the middle. I could totally just make it however I wanted, really. Because see, like if I do it like this, I have kind of like this triangle, this diamond in the middle with the sides going out. I could also, you know, just kind of just play with it and decide, what do you like? What do you not like? So let's see here. If you do this and this, then we have 2 straight and 2 up and down. We can switch these around. Now one trick I've learned is before I go to the sewing machine, I just like to put these on top of each other the way I'm going to sew them. So I'm going to take them over to the machine just like this. I know I can sew on these 2 edges and then sew this together and I'm done. Now since these are basically fancy half square triangles, those seams are going to nest for me, so it's really going to give me a good point to line everything up as I'm going along. You do want to kind of try to make sure that all your seams are laying the way that they were originally sewn into place. That way you're just going to have a much flatter result on your quilt block. Now I'm going to press this open, and before I start putting anything on the outsides of this block, I will start by trimming it down and making sure it's really good and square. Okay, last stop is the cutting table again, and again we're just going to use a square and trim this up to a size that is perfectly square before we start adding any extra layers on outside this block. Now what I'm doing, which you may not be able to tell, is I'm using a couple of the lines on my ruler to line up on the 2 seams that I have between these blocks. And I'm just going to trim it down. And we are going to go one side at a time, just because that really is the easiest thing to do. Because we have so many seams in this block, it's not uncommon that it's going to be out of square. Now I probably will cut off a couple points on this center block, but that's not going to bother me, so don't let it bother you. I'm okay with it, so you should be too. Okay, so this is going to be the center of my berry jam quilt. Now, before I put any borders on this, because this is a busy center, I am going to go ahead and sash it once, and then we'll start adding our rounds. Now, instead of using that same border fabric for the sashing on this quilt, I'm actually going to be using a little different of a print. This is both of these prints are from the Basic Gray Decorum line, so if you are looking for this fabric, it is probably out of print, but you may be able to find some on eBay or Etsy. I always like to get started by getting a nice, sharp, even cut on the edge of my fabric. It is folded in half because I know I'm going to need more than just one piece of this for sashing as we go around the quilt. So I've just got one really sharp cut. I just got a little bit off just to make sure it's really good and sharp. And now you could definitely do a different color sashing altogether for your quilt. It doesn't necessarily have to be the, you know, matchy-matchy. White or a tan would be really nice on this too. We'll press these two back and measure so we can get the other two sashings on and start doing our first round. Alright, so that is the center of my Berry Jam quilt. I'm just going to follow the pattern now and start adding my rounds around, and then I'll show you what it looks like once I get a couple rounds on there, and we will wrap up. Alright, so as you can see, this is a different day, but I did get this version of the Berry Jam quilt completed, and you can see that this is a really cool center block for the quilt, and then we just build on out all the way until I ran out of strips down here. And so then this part is just the solid background fabric. Now at that point, I just decided that I wasn't gonna put an outside border on this. This is probably gonna go in the pile for angel wings for a foster quilt. And so it'll be donated, and I think it's really pretty though. I love this. I love this modern take. I love all the different colors. I love showcasing all the different scraps from several different Lori Holt lines. I really like this pattern, you guys, and I definitely have more scraps and more strips cut where I plan on doing several more of these quilt tops. But like I said, I just wanted to share this one just because of the different center block, and just kind of give you an idea that this center block can really be anything you want. So in this case, I did use scraps, and I used my strip sets and made this kind of like a pinwheel hourglass type block in the middle for the center of the quilt. But you can put anything here. So if you have a pieced block or an applique block or a panel, like some of the panels have like for like pillows or whatever, you could definitely put that out here in this section as well. And really that kind of gives me another idea of another quilt that I want to make with this design. So that's where I'm at with this Berry Jam venture of mine. I hope this sparked some creativity, a little bit of inspiration for you. Until next time, find joy in all you do. Carve out some time for crafting and creating, and make sure it's always happy stitching.